As soon as we get into Japan, as soon as we get into the airport, we get off our plane, and there on the wall is a Welcome to Japan sign. So first we touch down in Tokyo, and Tokyo is beautiful and really modern. We went to so many shrines that by the end of it, by the end of the trip, I was kind of tired of being cleansed. That being said, that didn't mean that I went into a shrine area without being cleansed via their ritual of you wash your left hand and then your right hand and then your left hand again, and then you raise some water to your mouth and you spit it out to basically rinse out your mouth. I did that every time I went to a shrine, but I didn't want to. I was tired. Regardless, we're not there yet. We're just at the beginning. We're in Tokyo, man. Well, Tokyo's beautiful with its shrines and words I cannot pronounce, but even so, I'm going to try. We went to Shibuya, and that was really cool. And this shrine, which I believe is located in Yoyogika Mizonocho, or maybe that was the name of the shrine. I don't really know. I don't really remember. But the shrine itself was beautiful. And there was a tree of, I don't really know what the tree was for, but when you went over there to the particular tree, you could pray. Well, you can pray all over the place, but when you drop in a coin and you pray at this tree, you are to pray about romance, about your love life. But if you go to the main building, you are to pray about whatever you want. I didn't know that. I didn't really want to go to the big building, but I prayed at the tree. We'll see how that turns out. So then we went to Nishi Ishinjuku, where we were able to see the city in a panoramic view, kind of. I did my best to capture the picture, but with these columns in the way, it was pretty difficult. The columns were more the corners of the building. Then in Taito Asakusa, we went to another shrine. But there are many pictures of this beautiful shrine. So I took a picture of what the people believe to be the god's sandal. Now, traditional Japan, meaning way back when, they were Shinto. They were part of the Shinto religion. So these shrines are for the Shinto gods, which, by the way, is a polytheistic religion, which means, for those of you who don't speak world history, they have multiple gods. Japan itself isn't all that religious, but they do have shrines and they do upkeep their shrines, so that's pretty cool. But this particular picture that I'm referencing, that I'm talking about, is about a god's sandal. The people wanted to keep away the demons, the bad spirits, and so if the bad spirits entered the shrine, they would see how big the shoe of this god is, and they'd be afraid and they'd run away. At least that was the plan. Whether or not that actually works relies on the Shinto belief and your belief in other religions. So I'll leave that up to you. But this sandal is easily a full story tall. So 10 feet, maybe 2 stories, so 20 feet. And then we returned to our hotel. Then the place that we went for dinner that night, that was in Sumida, Yokohama. But it was really nice. It was sumo wrestler themed, so you sat on the floor on a pillow and you ate. There was actually a sumo wrestler ring, but there were no shows that night, which is fine. that was really cool. Even at the beginning of the trip, we learned about sumo wrestlers. I don't remember if it was that day or the day prior when we went to this restaurant that we learned about sumo wrestlers, but it's really cool. First of all, there's so many rules and so much honor at stake. It's baffling. I wouldn't do a good job of explaining it, so sadly to say, I would have to ask you to look it up if you really want to know about sumo wrestlers. But the best person to explain it to you, the best people, are actual sumo wrestlers. So if you are going to research it, go look for videos by actual sumo wrestlers or people in the community who can explain to you the importance behind each and every step. Oh, and by the way, a match is not very long, so that's pretty cool. Then we went into the city, which I believe is Shibuya. I do not remember if we are still in Tokyo. I'm not looking at a map, so I probably sound stupid, but I don't remember if we were still in Tokyo and if Shibuya is a section of Tokyo. I don't remember. I don't know if Shibuya is its own city. I'm sorry. But some students toured us around the city, and it was really cool, and I got a lot of pictures of that. The next day we walked into a city. We had, by this point, probably traveled to the next town. I feel like at this point in time we were in Kyoto, but don't quote me on anything. In fact, I'm completely wrong. So we were just in a city that I don't know the name of, touring, and that's why you see these pictures. Some are of scenery taken from the bus. There's a Gundam picture. I don't remember what Gundam. Although I enjoy anime, I'm not a fanatic, and I don't watch Gundams, so I don't actually know what this is from. The reason I have the pictures is because some of my friends like this kind of stuff, and so it was more for them. And then you have my plethora of scenery pictures. Then we got to a shrine, another shrine. Beautiful, right? I didn't actually go down to the shrine to see it, sadly to say. We had maybe an hour and we had to get lunch and see the shrine, and so my little group of 3, decided to go get lunch first, and then if we had time, go back to the shrine. We didn't have time, but we did eat relatively well, so it was okay. But first we had to go to the bathroom, and I walked in, and I was greeted by this thing on the floor. Yes, this is the toilet, and yes, this is how you use it. Which is interesting. I did not use it. I waited till I got to the restaurant, but that was really cool. That's the kind of toilet they use. One of the people in the group, and especially one of the people in my little group of 3, went to use the bathroom and somehow ripped their pants. I don't understand, but okay. Lucky for us, they were able to change. They had a spare pair of shorts on them at that moment in time. So that was good. This picture is just, I don't know why this squid is pulling a cart, but okay. At Kamakura Hase, we saw Buddha, which was really, really cool. And then that night, when we were at our hotel, I saw many koi. I really, really like koi. And I took pictures of the view. This is all from Izonokuni Nagaoka. I don't know the name of the hotel. I don't know where I am. something about what I've just said is the answer to one or both of those questions. Then we went to Hakone Sengokuhara. I don't know what mountain this is. I've given up. But while there, I took pictures of what I found. And this black egg that I'm holding, that is an egg cooked by the heat from the volcano. So it's said that if you eat one, it adds 7 years to your life. And they sell them in sets of 5 or 6, I believe. I didn't eat one, but I did borrow one from someone on the trip to take a picture of it. So yes, it's a hard-boiled egg that is boiled by the heat from the volcano. So that's pretty cool. And then there's pictures of more fish. And these next set of pictures are while we are on a cable car, I believe. Nope. Maybe? Yes, okay. These next set of pictures are from a cable car all the way up to the top of the mountain, and while we're on the mountain of which is Moto Hakone, or at least that's where it is. And it was really beautiful. So I got some pictures of the view from the cable car, really just got one. Then I got a picture of a beetle. I like bugs, man. Then there was the panoramic view, which was absolutely beautiful. And I took a picture of the steps to the shrine, and the mountain in the distance, and the clouds. There was this humongous fly on the cable car back down, and it just sat there, and I took a picture of it. It was really big, but also really cool. Then you've got all the fish again. And the next set of picture is Oluwar Jonai, I believe is how it's pronounced, where we saw some monkeys in a cage and this beautiful castle. It was not Himeji Castle, I believe, but it is beautiful. Remember, I'm telling you this from a month or 2 months ago, and I don't have the best memory, so I don't really know what I'm talking about. But there's a beautiful picture of this castle that I believe you could go into. And then, after that, we were on our way to Kyoto. How did we get to Kyoto from essentially the Tokyo area? Bullet train! Yeah, we went on a bullet train. So these next set of pictures are all from the bullet train. And I'm relatively good at taking pictures of things in motion, as long as my camera is still. There's lots of them, and they're really pretty. Okay, so then we went to Kitaku in Kyoto, Kinkakujiko. I know that we're in Kyoto, and there's this beautiful house, essentially, on a lake. I'm pretty sure it's a shrine, actually. And just the pictures of being in that area with all the shrine stuff and worship to the gods. And so you can also burn candles here, and you can pay to buy some candles to burn, and they each have a meaning. And so I picked up 2 candles, which I sadly don't remember what they mean, but here's what they look like. And I burnt them, and one I'm pretty sure is to help with stress, so to keep you calm, and the other is to excel in school, maybe, something like that. And then here is this beautiful place. This is actually the home of a shogun. And if you don't know what that is, I would say look it up, but what a shogun, to my knowledge, is if you're American, think of a governor of an area, or a a king, kind of, but he's not, a shogun is not the king of, just look up what a shogun is. I'm terrible at explaining it. But this is the outside, this is the gate of the house, and I don't believe we could take pictures inside, hence why there aren't any. Otherwise I would have, because it was really cool. The shogun sits higher up than everybody else before him, and it's really interesting. So then, while we're still in Kyoto, we go to the place where all the kitsune are said to be, or kitsune, or however you decide that you want to pronounce it. I don't care. Don't fight me. But this is the place of all the gates. I believe that there were 100 or 1,001 gates or something like that. I don't remember the number, but there sure were a lot, and it was beautiful. And then we're back to me taking pictures of the view, and later we went to this bamboo forest, which is still in Kyoto, so we're still here, and taking pictures of the beauty of that area, including the panoramic of the lake, and the things that I found around it. Then we went to yet another shrine, and showed you about the gods and the beauty of it, and it's just beautiful, really. Words don't describe what I felt there, so that's why I just keep saying the same one over and over again. And then we went to a deer farm. In Nara Zo-Shicho, we went to a deer farm. Why is this important? Sorry, not a deer farm, a deer park. We went to a deer park, not a deer farm. We're not cooking or killing these deer. It's a park where you can pet the deer and you can feed the deer, okay? There was a video floating somewhere about me feeding a deer and it attacking me. It was beautiful. I mean, I was in pain, but it's a deer and I'm feeding it. I can probably get the video for you, but when the person who took the video sent it to me, it was really glitched, but on their phone it's perfectly fine. So I probably can't get it, but maybe somebody else can. I don't know. But it's a deer, man! And so yeah, you could feed them. And we went to Deer Island. That was a thing too, where you didn't really pet the deer, but you learned about the rituals that were around there, and just deer. They really like their deer. It's ridiculous, but also it's really cool. So then we were on our way to our next location. Mind you, this trip is a span of 10 days, so just because I'm not telling you the specific day that we were somewhere, that doesn't mean that it didn't take a long while to get places. The first bullet train took 2 hours, and now this second bullet train that I'm telling you about took another 2 hours to get to our next location. So what's our next location? We're on our way to Hiroshima. And so we saw a museum about what happened in Hiroshima, and I know what happened. I wasn't there. I'm not old enough, nowhere near old enough, but I have been told about it so many times through my history classes. That being said, one of our spokespeople, one of our tour directors for the museum specifically, lived through it. And so one of them, her mother, lived through it. She was, her mother lost her sister to the bomb. And the man who was leading us, his mother was pregnant with him, I believe, when the bomb hit. It's a big deal. And the fact that these people are telling us, it's surreal to learn about it this way. But President Obama made, when he went to visit Japan, he made paper cranes, and these are his information about said paper cranes and some information about him. And since we were on the subject of paper cranes and we happened to be in Hiroshima where we could learn some more, we went and saw the memorial for the people lost in Hiroshima. And we saw all kinds of things, and this is one of the buildings that was really close to the epicenter where the bomb hit, or it was the epicenter, I don't quite remember, but that is what the building still looks like. You look at Hiroshima and you see part of it is rebuilt, but the closer you get to the epicenter, the closer you get to the museum, it's not. They didn't rebuild it. They want people to know what happened, and it's really cool. It's really interesting, but also it's really sad. These are the pictures of Deer Island that I was talking about. Just kind of... Well, Deer Island is beautiful. And then a nightscape, and then we're still in Hiroshima. So, yeah, Hiroshima has some good things like the deer park, and it has some terrible things like the history of the atomic bomb. So the thing that I was saying about the paper cranes, because I apparently didn't take pictures of it. There was a girl that I don't remember her name, but she made paper cranes. Have you heard the story of the girl that wanted to make 1,000 paper cranes? Well, she did. And she died before she could. She got really sick and she died. So her classmates made the rest of her cranes. I don't know what she got up to before she died, but then her classmates made the remaining cranes to get her up to 1,000. And even now you can go to Hiroshima, because she died of cancer, I believe. You can go to Hiroshima and you can get paper cranes. I mean, she's gone, but you can donate them, and it's just really cool. It's really surreal. I don't know how to describe it, but it's an experience. We kept going through our trip and we got to Himeji Castle. This is important because we got to climb the castle. Then we went to Osaka. Osaka is beautiful, but also I was tired, so I didn't take that many pictures. In fact, these two pictures you see here were taken the same day, 3 hours apart, really 2.5 hours apart, from different angles. It's just beautiful, right? And every single place you went had its own sewage cap. So this is the one in Osaka, and there's different ones for Tokyo, there's different ones for Kyoto, etc., etc., but I only noticed it when we were at the end of our trip and in Osaka. And then you have the pictures of us going home. And what's cool about the pictures of us going home is that I wasn't really that tired, but I just kept taking pictures, and I took a picture, and then I took a picture an hour and a half later, and then just the difference between the lighting. And it's beautiful. And then we finally got home. That was my trip in Japan. I'm not really good at describing this kind of stuff, but this is more a photo compilation rather than me giving my opinion of such. I just thought giving a little bit of context for the pictures would be better than absolutely nothing. And it was a lot of fun, and yeah, while we were in Japan, we went and saw a kimono fashion show. That was really cool, and this is important because I don't really remember what this is called, but I don't think this is a kimono. But this is where I got it, and that's why I'm wearing it today, because it was got for me in Japan. So yeah, that was the trip. That was Japan. And that was just the first part of June. So if you liked what you see, like, comment, subscribe, please. That'd be nice. And I'll see you later.